from Post News Group, Mayor London Breed, state awards San Francisco over $37 million for affordable housing. So this is it. This is the homelessness industrial complex. This is the commie regime machine, hard at work, live in real time, in your face. And of course, London Breed is easily one of the most corrupt politicians in the country, who of course admitted to some wrongdoing and paid nearly $23,000 in ethics violations fines, which of course is a drop in the bucket for her. But it also begs the question, what has she done that she didn't get caught doing? But my name's Eric, and this channel is called Report and Opine. Please like, comment, share, subscribe, all that fun stuff. I'm absolutely begging you.
I'm begging you, please. Come on, please.
It costs you nothing, but it helps me a lot. And if you want to help me even more and spend a little bit of money, go ahead and buy my book, New York City 2020. But here we have it. I mean, it's quite literally non-stop, right? We just saw another story of a not-for-profit group who was, caught embezzling more than $100,000 or whatever, and it just doesn't stop. We've all seen it. I roll the clip every other video of Gavin Newsom saying, we have a 10-year plan to fix homelessness.
Problem of those that are out on the streets that we define as homeless, we better solve the housing problem if we're going to have an impact. And that's why we established this framework, what we call a 10-year plan to end chronic homelessness in San Francisco.
But of course, that deadline came and went. They say, on April 30th, Mayor London N. Breed announced San Francisco has been awarded more than $37.9 million in funding from the California Department of Housing and Community Development as part of the state's multi-family housing program. The HCD loan will provide the final funding necessary for development of Casa Adelante, 1515 South Van Ness, a 168-unit affordable housing project located in San Francisco's Mission District. And I'm not quite sure how this is still happening, right? For years now, London Breed goes onto the pier and starts screaming about, we need more funding for climate change.
San Francisco is at the forefront of addressing so many of the issues that we face, and climate change with our climate action plan and with the work that we did to focus on the waterfront. We are opening up the doors to the public to provide input, but more importantly, we're opening up the opportunity for the funding necessary to not only talk about the plan, but to actually implement the plan. And I'm looking forward to seeing the work at least get started in my lifetime.
And nothing gets done. It only gets exponentially worse. And of course, we have the receipts for that as well. But this is just crazy. And look, it doesn't matter. They're going to go on for 1,000 words to let you know. And this publication, I think, is like some weird pinko commie rag.
What press?
The Condo Newsletter, the Boca Breeze.
Pinko commie rag.
But they're just going to go on to let you know that after all of this, we can see it all collapsing, that she's just going to get more money. And then you have from the ACLU, imagine how bad you have to be. So greaseball, scumbag, bang your wife, Governor Gavin Newsom somehow got Prop 1 to pass, right? It likely didn't, but they fudged the numbers just a little bit. So to get like 50.2%, and oh yeah, no, I'm going to get all this money and we're going to fix the homelessness. But of course, he's never going to do that. They're quite clearly just going to enrich themselves as they have been doing for many years, and nobody is going to stop them. In fact, if you try to stop them, you will be deemed a criminal. But my point here is this is from the ACLU of Northern California. And imagine how bad you have to be to have the completely corrupt ACLU say that you are offering false promises, right? The ACLU had a woman in Oakland whose house was pierced by bullets.
ACLU attorney Alyssa Victoria says she's thankful for another day of life after a bullet went through 2 walls of her home last night while she and her family were inside. Victory posted photos of the aftermath on X. She tells KTVU this happened during a shootout just outside of her East Oakland home around 10:30 on Friday night. Thankfully, no one was hurt.
And she said, well, I'm still a progressive. That's how demented they are. So for that organization to say Prop 1 is not all it's cracked up to be is crazy. And then this is just from a couple days ago. San Francisco nonprofit meant to help unhoused community accused of fraud after $100,000 disappeared. But it doesn't matter. They're just going to keep doing it. And electricity prices are going to go through the roof. Gas prices are going to go through the roof. Internet prices are going to go through the roof. Restaurant prices are all going to go through the roof. And somehow, some way, they're not left with absolutely nobody, right? I get it. They're kind of taking people hostage, right? Whatever interest rates and jobs and, the roots that people put down. But this has gotten to a point where it is basically just highway robbery. They're squeezing you at every point. So you are either going to be a junkie self-vaccinating under the Bay Bridge, or you are going to be part of the political machine. And here, from the San Francisco Standard, San Francisco nonprofit gave huge raises, bonuses to staff as housing units sat vacant. And this is a different story from the other nonprofit that was recently accused of embezzling more than $100,000. And there's more. Another one, and this is from 2022. San Francisco calls on FBI to probe, quote, criminal activity at nonprofit housing agency. Second audit of United Council of Human Services points to broad mismanagement. So it just never ends. And those are different stories. And this, of course, is the short list, right? I mean, it would be nearly impossible to track every single piece of this corruption. Even if they've been caught, it would be very difficult, to put it nicely, to round all of that up and talk about it. And that's not even including, obviously, the scams that have gone through. They've flown completely under the radar, and nobody knows about them. And here's one more. This is the huge story about how they just couldn't we're not sure what happened to $24 billion. But it doesn't matter. We're just going to, I guess, print more or steal more of your money and hand it out to bureaucrats who say they're going to clean up the homelessness. Auditors slam California's $24 billion spend on shelters and rent subsidies, with little to show but a 53% rise in homelessness to 180,000 this past decade. So it just doesn't matter. And they're doing it right in front of your face. They're begging you to challenge them. They're begging you to say or do something. And then when people leave by the thousands, and then you have these weirdo, quote unquote, journalists, these experts who say, well, California is not collapsing and people want to be here. And the population is going back up. I don't know about that. You can count illegals if you want to, but we can all see it. And I guess right now, okay, the journalist population, the political regime, and the junkies. That's it. They're trying as hard as they can to squeeze everybody else out on purpose. And shout out to the guys who are staying there and trying to fight and trying to do better. Same thing in New York. But that machine is just too powerful. They will steamroll you if you so much as question one of their narratives.